Hi everyone. Uh, uh, I am going to give a talk. I am going to give this talk today. Um, yeah, I am going to. Yes, that is not how I talk. And yeah, let me show you something as well. Well, you guys could see that, right? It reads 13.36 seconds, and what is so specific about this time is that it is the exact amount of time which you guys took to judge me. What I want to illustrate through this is how easy it is for us to fool ourselves. How easy it is for us to take our brain far, far, far away from the fact which is the truth. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and today I've gathered you all here to talk about an important skill of our life which most of us ignore all our lives. It is not that we don't have knowledge about it, we have plenty of knowledge about it. It's just that we don't realize its importance. Right? So, what I will do today is I will unfold this thing to you slowly, step by step. Okay? So, coming to the point, today's topic is power of perception and images. Power of perception and images. Now, when you hear this, you guys would ask, what does perception mean? Right? So, if I say it in simple words, perception just means the way of looking at something, or simply the way of receiving something is perception. Right? So, let me explain this thing to you properly. Say, we all know what a circle is, right? It is a locus of points, a set of points equidistant from a given point, right? And that point is the center, right? And just think, at the center is the thing which you are looking at, or the thing which is meant to be perceived is at the center, all right? And you are standing on any one of those infinite points. There are infinite points in the circle, and you are standing on any one point. Right now, if I say I'm standing here, okay, from this point, say if I shift here, and this is the center, from here I shift here, right, what will happen is I will get a different angle of this thing which is there in the center, and each point will give me a different image, a different angle of the same thing which is there at the center. And this is perception, the ability to look at the same thing in hundreds, multiple, infinite ways is perception. And there are hundreds of factors on which perception depends. Some of them might be how recently we experienced something, or how many times it's happened, or if it had any emotional charge on it, anything. There are multiple factors. Alright, so before we proceed, I have an activity for you all. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I will tell you some words, and you guys have to create a mental image of it. And by mental image, what I mean is whatever comes to your brain when I say that word, right, just capture that moment. Okay, so let's begin. Right, just close your eyes, relax, and think of the words. Right, so the first word is book. B-O-O-K, book. Fine? Done? Hide your thoughts? Nice. Alright. Now, the second word is house. H-O-U-S-E, house. Think of it. What is coming to your brain? Alright? Done? Now come back. Okay, so when I say book, right, so we have a huge population who might be watching this talk right now. So for some of you it might be a recipe book, for some of you it might be an education book, for some of you it might be just your favorite novel or your Harry Potter, anything, or some Dan Brown, right? For a mother it would be a recipe book, for which she would make something for her kids. For a father it might be a financial book. For a teacher it might be a guidebook, or for a student it might be some science book, math book. There is a huge variation in the responses that we get. Right? Same thing happens with house as well. When I say house, some of you might be thinking of a flat, some of you of a bungalow, some of you of a villa, or some of you of a tall building, or some of you just might be thinking your younger siblings throwing stuff around, or some of you might be thinking of your mom or anything, yeah. But one thing that I notice is that we get a huge variation on the responses, right? And this is indicating something. What this is indicating is an important factor of our growth, that your automatic perceptions shape your reality, how you see yourself, your work, and your world. Right? In other words, we are all living in a story that we ourselves have created. And this has many real life implications as well. For example, you guys have heard of this placebo effect, right? Placebo effect. What this is that it is a doctor-patient thing in which the doctor gives you a pill which biologically does nothing to you, but it plays with your beliefs. It makes you change your perception. Right? What is it is the doctor just gives you a pill and says that this pill will work on you and it will do some biological process on you, whereas it literally does nothing. And you actually believe that, and you think that yes, I am getting repaired, I am getting rid of the sickness, and this very belief actually gets you rid of the disease. Cool, right? I know. And there are many such real life implications of the power of perception. It's just that we have to realize it. Right? And there are types of perception such as visual, auditory, olfactory, or haptic and gustatory. But we won't be discussing that here since this is not a science class, right? I don't want you all to die of boredom. But yes, what we will discuss is its effects and impacts. The effects and impacts of the way you perceive something. Alright? Moving ahead, I am sure you guys have heard of the two brain system that we have. One is the fast, automatic one. It is very subconscious, right? And the other one is a slower, more deliberate, more conscious, right? Now you guys would ask, why do we have this fast system? And it's very simple actually. Why do you do something quickly? Right? It is because our brain is constantly 24/7 taking in information. Right now you're taking information from me. After some time I'll be taking information from my surroundings. Sometime we are always taking information. Right? And our working memory, which is basically how much thinking you can do at one time, is a very limited source. So what our brain does is it is lazy like us. Like say you guys have a phone, right? Everyone has a phone. So what do you do? On your home screen you keep app shortcuts, right? Why do you do that? That is because you want to cut down the amount of work that you have to do, right? Finding the app and all, you don't want to do that, so you create shortcuts. That is exactly what our brain does. It creates these shortcuts so that your thoughts become automatic, which cuts down the amount of work that your brain has to do. And yes, there comes a problem with this as well. How many of you know about the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle? It says that of a fast moving particle, you cannot find momentum and the position of the particle simultaneously. That is what exactly happens in our life as well. When you are accurate, you cannot be fast. And when you are fast, you cannot be accurate. If you want to do something accurately, you have to be slow, more deliberate, you have to get deeper into it. And if you're doing something fast, you're just doing it, right? You don't care if it's accurate or not. So this is what exactly happens in your brain as well. Your fast thoughts are not that accurate, or maybe they are most probably wrong as well, right? So this is the very reason why we say don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge something so quickly. Get the right conditions. Engage in more slower. Get more deliberate. Think consciously. Spend time and then give your judgment. Not like the way you judged me at the starting of this talk. 13.36 seconds, that is how much time you took. What happened was you saw me performing in front of you, and then there was an image of incapable, scared, nervous person. And then you related to the image that you're seeing of me and that image, and your brain found it to be matching. And then it gave its judgment. Yes, the person you're seeing right now is an incapable, and who gave him the chance to talk in a TEDx, and what is he doing and what not came to your brain, right? So don't give your judgment like that. Dive in more, deeper, get to know, engage more time, and only then give your judgment. Now let's come to perceiving things inside of yourself. What I mean is perceiving some trait inside of you. Right? Perceiving some trait inside of you. And trust me, if you look at your inner self in the wrong way, it's going to cost you a lot. What we do is we are constantly finding faults inside of us. Right? We look at the negative traits inside of us. And we misperceive these things. These negative traits, what these negative traits do to us is that they demotivate us. And what this demotivation does is that it snatches the energy through which you could have actually got up and fought with the negative traits. Right? So this is a big problem. And yes, I've got the solution. But for that, you guys have to relax your mind, sit back on the chair, close your eyes, and give answers to these instructions. Okay? Just follow the instructions, close your eyes, and then just feel that there is nothing around you. Right? Just chill, relax. Right? Close your eyes, come on. Now answer these questions to yourself. Okay? Think of a trait that you feel is negative. A trait which you feel is negative. Something which is constantly demotivating you. When you look at it, you just lose your mind. Think of that trait. That is exactly what you're finding for. Now ask yourself, how has this negative trait served you well? Yes. In what way is it a positive force in your life? Just think it that way. Come on, change your perception. Change, come on. Now, find out how you can begin to shift your understanding of that perceived negative to find more confidence, more inspiration, and find out how you can channelize it to such a way that from where you will receive more motivation and new hopes. Just think it that way. Come on, change your perception, change your position on the circle. Come on, guys. Think of it that way. This is the last question which you have to answer. Think this thing. Take your time. Alright, everyone done? Okay, now come back. Come back, slowly come back. Right? Fine. Well, that's what I had for today. And keep asking these questions to yourself and see the change that you feel in yourself. And ladies and gentlemen, when your perception shifts, your story shifts. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.